Welcome back to Porfiro, brought to you by WMHD.
You arrive for work and go check on your flowers, which you've been doing periodically since you got them. Oh, uh-oh. You find them a little bent over. You bring them with you to your desk. Antigone is already at your table when you come over. Her eyes widen when she sees you.
Shit, kid, is that what I think it is?
I don't know what you think it is.
She puts a hand over her mouth and leans closer to look at them.
It's daffodils, right?
What's a daffodil?
It's a kind of flower.
Then yes, I think. And I think something might be wrong with it. It's floppy.
She leans further forward and people start noticing you. Her eyes look shimmery and far away.
Why do you have it?
Not really sure.
Where did it come from?
Carmen gave it to me.
This snaps her back to her normal posture and disdainful face.
Carmen?
The magician?
I know who she is, I'm just surprised that... No, never mind, I'm not surprised. Did Martin and Viridian have a hand in it too?
I don't know. Probably. Why does it matter?
She makes a noise of disgust and sits down. A bunch of bored students are looking at you now.
Because I think they're trying to send you a message. This is so like them.
Like them how?
You look at her, in askance.
This is exactly how they try to communicate. So subtle that only they themselves understand.
What are you talking about?
I think they're trying to intimidate you with the flowers, kid.
Sure they are.
No, really. Nobles used flowers to intimidate people back in the days of, well, nobles and flowers. It took a lot of wealth to maintain their gardens.
The bored students are getting bored of her. You frown doubtfully.
Oh, come on. It even sort of makes sense if you think about it. Where did Carmen get it? How does she have flowers when, shit, the whole city wants them and doesn't have them?
Johnny says they have them at political events and funerals sometimes.
Well, Johnny is right. People try to intimidate each other at political events.
And funerals?
She just looks at the flowers. Then she looks at her lap. Embarrassed? There's a long and rather awkward silence.
Can I touch them, kid? They're, really beautiful.
Sure. Be gentle.
She touches one delicately and manipulates the petals with her fingers so she can see them better. She looks almost reverent, as do the few students still paying attention.
It's so gorgeous. Can you imagine? There used to be whole fields full of these.
She looks suddenly disdainful again.
Carmen made it in a vat of chemical sludge and magical life support. I believe she does such things, but... Shit. It's beautiful, isn't it?
She goes back to staring at it dreamily. A few of the braver randos have gathered around your table to do the same. One of them steps forward.
I think you're right, though. It's not supposed to droop like that. At least the ones in the bio textbooks don't.
You should take them back to the magician's, kid. Maybe they're sick.
Wait, you just finished telling me they were intimidating me. Now you want me to ask them for help?
They just want to keep you from messing with them. You study in their house, after all. They won't be mad if you ask for help.
She's still staring at the flowers. She looks almost drunk. You're not super inclined to believe her.
Sure.
What? You think they can get away with murder or something? I bet they can't even get away with using paper they haven't requisitioned.
Okay.
Besides, it would be a real shame if you killed the things.
You're not a fan of the way she puts this, but you do agree. You're not sure what exactly to do, but you figure looking for the magicians is a good start.
Can I take time off to find Carmen or something?
Sure, kid. Just finish your work on time.
You wander in the direction of the administrative offices. After some exploring, you catch sight of Viridian's reflection in a window. She's smoking and gazing deep into her own reflected eyes. You pause to stare. She draws on her cigarette, then exhales with beautiful sadness. Her floaty sleeves stir. She tosses her hair like a model in a shampoo commercial, somehow without upsetting the cigarette, on which she draws again. You wonder how old she is. Her makeup is heavy and the light is low. Beneath it, she might be in her early 40s. Oh no, her reflection makes eye contact with you. She knows you're watching. Shit. Well, might as well own it. You smile shyly and walk over. Even when you get close, she seems far away, separated from you by a million wisps of smoke and hair and gossamer fabric. You think fast, then offer her the flowers.
I know Carmen has more of these, but I'm not really good at taking care of them, and you seem like you would be, and I thought you might like them.
Viridian takes them with a melancholy smile.
That's very kind of you, Porfiro. Would you like to stay and talk for a while?
No.
Oh, yes, please.
You sit on the windowsill and watch in silence as she draws on the cigarette a few times. For something so stinky, smoke sure is beautiful.
You're serious about studying with Martin?
Yes, ma'am. Very serious. I want to be a magician.
She smiles again.
Then let me give you my opinion. The name magic is deceptive. It's all machines all the way down.
Her smile has turned rather dark.
Why say that?
Because I know it for a fact.
I thought you just said it was your opinion.
I did, didn't I?
She goes back to watching her reflection, this time with a spacey smile. What strange company you've found for yourself. Johnny sent you a box of your stuff today. Mostly it was your clothes, which consist exclusively of the school uniform, socks, and underwear. Yay, no more laundry in the sink every night. Beneath the clothes, you find his seismograph, which you immediately plopped down on the ground and watched for like a whole 15 happy minutes. Johnny doesn't get it, but you know that it's an insanely cool piece of machinery. Beneath that were a bunch of comics and your candy stash. Has Johnny taken some of your gummy bears? Probably not, but if you accuse him of it on the phone tonight, he might send you more either way. You make a mental note to do so. You're grading in the library. Antigone has come in with her mail and is going through it languidly. Then suddenly she jumps up and rattles the table.
What?
Oh, shit.
She's scanning this big heavy letter frantically. You get behind her and start reading it too. She seems to have won some sort of contest.
Fucking Morrison!
She slams the letter down on the desk and stares at it with huge eyes.
What's wrong?
I'll explain on the way. Come with me.
And she grabs the letter again.
Where are we going?
Morrison.
What?
She's dragging you by the hand into the chemistry department.
I had to work on this paper with him. We didn't care about it. Some footnote and some grant.
You work with him? I thought he was your enemy or something.
I work with him all the time. How do you think he got on my shit list?
She opens the department door roughly. A few people turn their heads.
I made up some numbers for him, and a graph, I think.
You made up numbers?
Yeah, because they weren't supposed to do anything.
She gives your arm an extra hard yank, then stops short in front of a door. She pounds on it.
Morrison! Get the fuck out here, you little shit!
I'm not calling out.
I can't hear you and I don't care! Get out or I'm coming in!
And without any pause, she opens the door into the chest of someone who must be Morrison. You want to run away.
Who's this?
This is my grader. Let us in.
She pushes past him and drags you inside.
Did you get your mail?
No.
Remember that paper you said wouldn't mean anything and nothing would happen to it?
No.
Liar. I just got a letter about it, so you must have fixed it up real good after I left it to you. Must have been the hardest you've worked in...
Quiet down.
I'm not going to be quiet. You specifically said you wouldn't turn it in anywhere that mattered. You said...
I never said that. We had to turn it in.
They start shouting over each other. You can't make out much except that Morrison says quiet a lot. You step away from them. You'd run if you weren't afraid to leave them alone. There's some banging at the door. They both yell at you not to open it.
Look, Singh, you have a lot to lose in this situation. I know you can fix...
This isn't my problem. You're the one who told all the real lies. You have no...
They start shouting again. The banging at the door resumes. They just keep shouting, and shouting starts coming from behind the door, too. After a couple minutes, Antigone shoves the letter into Morrison's chest, cutting him off. She yells something that ends in,
Sleeping with the department head and all your students!
Even the people outside fall silent. Morrison shoves the letter back at Antigone hard enough to make her stumble. He opens the door.
Everybody get out of here.
He turns back and looks at you.
And get her out of here too.
I don't need getting out of here. Why would I stay?
She slams the door into the wall on the way out.
Come on, kid.
You leave and shut the door behind you. People surge out of other offices to talk to you. Antigone waves them off. You follow her into an empty classroom. She starts crying silently.
What does he want you to do?
She sits on one of the desks and curls up.
I don't know. Confess, probably?
Confess to what? Confess to who?
To the people who noticed the paper, probably, and the department, not that they'd actually believe it. I have a reputation. But if I could just get the heat off his back, stupid little fucker would be happy. Morrison, I fucking hate you!
She brings her fist down on the desk and starts sobbing.
I knew this would happen eventually!
You try to comfort her, but she just gets more worked up. Eventually, she tells you to go, and you do. You come back in the morning to find a note pinned to the door that says, Porfiro, in Lab 102. You go there. You knock at the lab door. Antigone opens it, smiling a scary smile.
Good morning?
It's a very good morning, kid. It's glorious. It's beautiful.
It is?
She giggles and pulls you inside. It's a small lab with just one table, which is loaded down with stuff you don't recognize. It smells bad in here.
Aren't you supposed to be apologizing or something right now?
That's what Morrison thinks, but I worked it out last night. I don't have to.
Her smile looks scary again, and you wonder if she slept last night.
Morrison has done way too much wrong to survive here. He's a sinking ship, kid, and there's nobody to save him. No one will take his side, not even against me.
Wow. What did he do? Must have been impressive.
Not really, actually. He got his TA position because of some relative. Had a good time besmirching the name of science with his vanity, but it's been over for a long time now. He's too obvious. Has been for years. Relatives can only help you so much.
She starts messing with stuff on the table.
I can do this without him.
For a few minutes, you watch her do, well, you're not really sure what.
What exactly are you doing without him?
Just what we said we'd already done. The paper was about us making something that we didn't make.
You stare at her for a few minutes. On the floor, there are a few buckets full of yellow stuff that she hasn't touched. She's moving everything else around the desk with a lot of nervous energy.
What was it?
This.
She shoves a flask that's been getting a lot of attention in your face.
Oh, okay. I figured.
It's a precipitant for the cloud.
Oh shit. It takes the cloud out of the air? That's incredible.
Not really. If you study a lot of chemistry, you'll come across several chemicals that could get rid of the cloud.
What's with this one then?
Nothing. People have even made it before. The only new thing here is that I found some binding that would make it easier to store. which is pointless because nobody keeps any of it. We need the cloud, and even if we didn't, there's no real way to make this stuff at scale.
She takes one of the buckets with yellow stuff to the sink, dumps the yellow stuff, and starts washing the bucket.
Morrison entered the paper in this contest. Some dumb celebrity sponsored it, and it must not have attracted many decent papers. Anyway, they want samples by tomorrow.
You watch for a minute as she dries the bucket meticulously.
What was the contest about?
It was looking for good ideas about how to get rid of the cloud, which there are none of, because we need the cloud. Shit, these people should be embarrassed for themselves. Did they just forget how bad it was before the cloud? Stupid contest, stupid fucking Morrison. I just hope this works.
She puts the bucket on the counter and makes eye contact with you.
It should work. It should. I ran the numbers for real last night. Everything checked out. Shit, this really has to work.
She starts measuring stuff into a beaker.
Don't you have work today?
I called in sick. The department seems to think that Morrison beat me up or something. They didn't ask for details.
Aren't they worried about you?
I can take care of myself.
You look at the buckets on the floor.
I can see that.
You wake to a violent banging on your door. Ugh. One of the guys down the hall is a real party animal, and people are always mistaking your room for his.
Shut up! There's no party here!
The banging keeps getting louder.
Go get high somewhere else!
Kid, it's me! Open up!
You throw on your raincoat and hide your messy hair in the hood. You open the door.
Oops.
Hey, what's up?
She sags against the doorframe.
It works, kiddo. I did it.
She pulls a small bottle out of her raincoat and shows you. You can't make out much in the dark.
Is that the contest winner?
Yes, it is.
Wow. Can I touch it?
Oh, shit, what a dumb question. She'll probably laugh at you and call you sleepyhead or something else embarrassing now.
You can do better than that. Get your shoes on.
You put them on and get into the hall. She leads you to a balcony and pulls out the bottle. There's a dim lamp glowing over your shoulder.
Pull your shirt over your face. It smells terrible. I'm going to uncap the bottle and... No, I'm not. Shit, my hands are shaking.
She thrusts the bottle at you and you take it.
Open it away from you and recap it after a few seconds.
You do. She smiles at you. A really beautiful smile. She looks giggly and open and sort of not like herself.
Okay, it's ready now.
She kneels, and so do you. There's a thin layer of dust on the ground.
This used to be in the air. Used to be the cloud.
Oh shit.
Yeah. The real deal. I can't believe it.
She hugs her knees and smiles into them.
Porfiro, it's so wonderful. I've posted a bottle to the contest people, and I have one for them tomorrow, too. Not that that's really necessary. I just want to see the look on Morrison's face.
She looks at you sharply.
If I'm not up tomorrow at 9, come beat my door down. Really, I give you permission to beat it in. I can get that to you in writing if you want.
Her smile turns cruel, and she looks like herself again.
Just make sure I'm there. And you be there, too. I want you to see.
You won't be tired?
Shit, kid, of course I'll be tired. Tomorrow's gonna be hell.
She runs her hands over her eyes. For a minute, she looks thoroughly spent.
It's just going to be worth it.
There's a moment of silence, and then you both get up. She holds out her hand and takes the bottle from you.
I prepared for this. I mean, I only lied on that paper because I knew what everything should look like. It's not like I took a huge gamble, but
That really magical smile comes back. You can't hold her gaze.
I just can't believe it. I did it. And I've only had to miss a night and a half of sleep.
You show up to the library to find Antigone already there. She's sitting on your usual table, wearing a pantsuit and a lot of makeup. You've never seen a woman in a pantsuit before, except in photos, and you feel like you're dreaming as you walk up to her. For a minute, you almost believe she's a stranger who happens to look a lot like Antigone. Then she smiles at you and pats the part of the table next to her. You sit by her side and the weird feelings dissipate. The contest people come. They're very impressed with Antigone. She's the opposite of impressed with them. As are you.
Thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Porfiro, and this... Wait a minute, that's not right. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Ethan, and this is Porfiro, brought to you by WMHD. Porfiro was written and directed by Joy Stockwell Carpenter. Our script editor is Nicholas Carpenter. Our beta readers are Rhea Carlson and Alyssa Russell. The audio post-production for the show is done by Ethan Townsend. Our narrator is Natalie Beatty. This episode featured Anastasia Zellner as Antigone and Viridian, Eli Fritz as Porfiro, and Caleb Botel as Morrison.